One reason that they have to take this asphalt off is that according to racing rules, and whether it's NASCAR or kart or whatever, this has to be a minimum of 42 inches. So if it is 42 inches now, they obviously have to take something off before they can put something back down again. Going back to the highway situation, those of you that are from northern Illinois, the Chicago area, you know what the traffic is like up there. So those interstates, they have been rebuilding. You know, you look at the Dan Ryan, Congress, the Eisenhower, the Kennedy, all of those have pretty much been rebuilt because the traffic is absolutely phenomenal up there. And you get to a point after, say, 20 years or so, or 30 years, that they look at it and they say, we can't just go in and take off 2 or 3 inches. We've got to take it all out, and we've got to put up there probably 20, 24, or 30 inches of pavement back, because the traffic is so heavy that we don't want to have to go back there for another 30 years or 20 years or whatever the design life is. This process, where you just mill off 1.5 inches and put 1.5 inches back on, you're probably going to have to go back probably every 10 to 15 years and do it again. But the traffic is not such that that's a problem. So there's a cost and effect evaluation that comes out, and so this is the method they're using. Go ahead.
When you remove the top part, would you disturb the lower? I mean, any disturbance happens to the lower?
No, not really. This is a very high speed, what they call a mandrel down here, that has carbide tipped teeth, and it actually has the ability to go in and actually grind off an asphalt surface and grind off concrete, and it really does not disturb the underlying. Yeah. Here's a picture where you see that it's all been ground off. See, it looks like there's paths going this way or marks. It's all been ground off at this point. They've started to lay the asphalt, and you lay the asphalt from the high side going down, because you always want the water to overlap going down toward the infield.
Is the only reason, or for the speed, for the centrifugal?
Well, for both. For both, but whenever we lay asphalt, you always, or you normally always start from the high side and go down. This again is just another picture. They've got here's a truck. They've got a material transfer device just like we own, and then they dump it in the paver, and then they roll it right behind. Here again, talking about samples, what they're doing here is they're putting down steel plates, and then when they come over it with a paver, and then when they roll it, they'll be able to go back with a metal detector, and they'll be able to find where those steel plates are, and then they'll cut out sections of that track so they can take them back to a lab and test them and make sure that they are getting what they're paying for. Here's a different method. This again, they're coring the pavement, and this is part of the new track. So they're coring it, and again, you see that they're coring it right on this joint. Here's one painted on the joint. They're coring it right on that joint, because joints again are extremely important. And if you don't have compaction there, that's when you're going to start having wear. And again, with the speed and everything else that you have in a 200+ mile per hour race car, you don't want to have any problems with the joints.
The pouring would go like this, and then how you cut here?
You actually have a kind of a handmade device that you just put it in, and you kind of go back and forth, and yeah, it's pretty primitive, but it works. That was the asphalt plant that they used to produce the mix that went out on the speedway. Go ahead. Here again is, you can see the electronic devices that are used to lay the asphalt. And this is kind of an interesting picture, because you talked about how many lifts we put down. Normally, we consider that when you put down a lift of asphalt that you're taking about 70% of the roughness out. So you got 70% and then you got 70% of what's left and 70% of what's left and 70% of what's left. In this particular instance, since it's a racetrack, they've put down one level, and it appears this is a second level and that's a third level. So they're trying to get it absolutely as smooth as they possibly can.
When you are pouring concrete, you worry about rain. If it rains, you cannot really pour concrete. Of course, water is an ingredient.
Correct.
How compared to putting
If you just have a light rain, it really won't affect it. But if you have a heavy rain, it'll start to cool down that asphalt, and it will actually drain through some of the pores. So we're very concerned about rain also.
You don't want rain water to come inside the mix.
That is correct. Yeah. Again, they must have had some kind of a time element here because they're paving at night. And they use special rollers. These rollers were from Germany and the paver was from Germany. I don't know.